A new collab has arrived. Get ready. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Last Claudia's collaboration with Persona 5 Royale. That's right. There's going to be a total of 4 characters that you can get, 2 right off the bat, and then another week we're going to get 2 more. So in this video, we're going to go ahead and discuss the first 2 that you can get, and we'll see how much we like them. So, I guess my prediction for the next collab was completely wrong, but I'm okay with that. So this is going to be the Persona 5 Royal collab. Now, I'm not too familiar with Persona 5 specifically. My only history is Persona 2, which was a long time ago. This is before Persona, became popular. Because honestly, Persona has always been kind of a niche thing. I don't think it started getting popular until maybe Persona 3 or 4, probably 4. I know that they actually had an anime for Persona 4 that I actually watched, but I have honestly no experience with P5, so I don't really know much about the characters or the story. But I'm glad to see, this particular series get a little bit of love. Now, one thing that I do want to mention too before we discuss the characters is that you have the option to get a random unit between the 2 we're going to be talking about, but just these 2. The second 2 you have to actually pull via gotcha when it drops. But for the 1 unit ticket, it is going to be random between the guy you see on the screen and another one that we're going to talk about. And be sure to spend your tickets first before you spend your crystals, unless you plan on buying like paid gear or something. All right, so we're going to go ahead and start with Joker. So this is a soldier type. Stats overall looking pretty good. I mean, everything's above 1,000. HP is decent, and MP is good enough, and not necessarily needed, but it's nice to have. His resistances are pretty good too. For his specifically the element resistance, he's resistant to everything except blind and curse. But he's got 4 out of the 6, which is still pretty good. And as far as attribute, he has a +5 to both light and dark. Now, as far as his skills are concerned, some of the things that to take note, specifically with the special, is that whenever it says finishing attack damage cap, they're just referring to the last hit. That is a good way to kind of describe, what a finishing attack is. It makes a lot of sense. You have to understand in Last Claudia, some of the verbiage can be a little weird and harder to understand, but this is pretty clear. But yeah, so that 40k and the damage cap for the special, that's only for the final hit, and that's what it means by finishing attack, which makes perfect sense. Also, keep in mind that he is going to be a dark attacker. Now, for his traits, he's got an interesting set of traits here. So, Steel Arsene, I'm probably saying it wrong, but whatever. Dark attack plus 40%, damage cap 14k. When attacking an enemy that has the lost debuff, damage cap 30k. If dark attack damage is cut by enemy dark resistance, cut the resistance by 50% and deal damage. This is a fantastic trait. So first off, you're getting some extra damage, you're getting some damage cap. But the thing here that really gets me excited is that when he's attacking, I'm sorry, there's also a loss of debuff. We'll go into that later. But basically, if dark attack damage is cut by the enemy resistance, you cut it by 50%. Like, being able to do that elemental piercing is something that I've always liked in all characters. So the fact that he can kind of cut through resistance is actually really good. So I like that trait 100%. As far as the lost debuff, we'll get into that later. The second trait is called Wild. So this is a nullify anti-type effects, basically Slayer effects from enemies. When defeating an enemy, gain the enemy's types. Boost strength, defense, and mind, max of 24%, and damage dealt, max 24%. Cut down taken, max minus 24%, based on the number of types the unit has. So basically, the more types he has outside of being a soldier, well, actually including the soldier type, I guess, but the more types he gains, the better the more powerful he will be overall. Like, he'll get all the stats increased, he'll be able to deal more damage and be able to shrug off more damage. This is super good. I like it a lot. I mean, this is going to be really, really good for, multi-wave battles where you're fighting, like, tons and tons of enemies. But yeah, I think it's really, really cool. Also, being immune to Slayer effects is really going to be strong for Arena as well. And of course, for Arena, even just being able to, if he ends up killing, one or more of the enemies, he's going to gain those types and be a lot stronger. So the more he kills, the stronger he gets. It's actually pretty nutty. I like it a lot. It's really good. So let's go ahead and take a look at the magic and skills that he has. Now he only has one magic spell. It's going to be Treacherous Intent. So you give one enemy Treacherous Intent debuff for a straight defense and a mind debuff of -10% once per wave. If the enemy enters break, change the debuff to loss and boost its effect by 25%, -25. So it's you might not need to use this too often, but it's convenient to have. I'll say that much. And it costs 0 MP, so you can pretty much cast it anytime you need to. So pretty good. So moving on, we got Fighting Spirit 4. For these are for skills. Arcane up 4. Heroism up 2. Heroism is a buff for strength, defense, and HP. We have Crit 2 and Valor's Proud Force. I like seeing the crit package. We have Illusion. We have Brute Slayer. Now, we love our group Slayers. Anytime you get Slayers for multiple types, it's always super strong. It's always the highest value. We also get Special Boost, because why not? Blind and Curse Research. That's right. He is a status character, similar to Melee or Logia, so that's pretty cool. He has Auto Crit, which, again, I'm a crit guy, so I like it. Auto Haste, Awaken, Pride 2, Dark Mega Drive, Dark Attack Raise, Terramel 3, which I like seeing. This is the damage to people with ailments plus 30% with a 2k damage cap. Really good. Thaumaturgy Ring, didn't see that coming. Sword Mega Boost, Sharp Eyes, Giant Killing 2, more damage cap. We have Death God, Paranoia, which gives you SCT, Chance Encounter. So will battle start, chance to restore units SCT stocks by 1. So you have a chance of being able to potentially spam more skills. We have technical. Damage to enemies with lost debuff plus 30%. Damage to enemies with status elements plus 30%. Very nice. Your Mind is a duration of lost debuffs given by the unit plus 50%. Break recovery time plus 50% for enemies put into break by the unit. So if he does the breaking, this goes into effect. Pretty good. We also have Give Up. So when physically attacking bosses, give Treacherous Intent debuff if break gauge is at least 10% or less once per wave. And then ravage them. So we have when physically attacking non-boss enemies with Treacherous Intent debuff, change the debuff to a lost debuff. Damage to enemies with lost debuff plus 50%. So his kit basically just helps out his unique traits, and he's a status character, and he's a character with a crit package. Overall, I like the character. He's got like a brute slayer. He's got a good crit. He's a statuser. Got a lot of good damage caps and damage multipliers. Honestly, he's just a total package. I think he's really, really strong. I like him a lot. Also, again, the good resistances, the good stats overall. Just a really, really good unit. And I was fortunate enough to pull him. So I have another status character that I can use. As a matter of fact, in the actual event, I'm using Joker and Melee in the same team with Reese, and just having a good old time. So really, really fun. Lots of fun. Next up, we have Morgana. So this is a creature type. Also decent stats all around, with slightly less HP but more MP than Joker. As far as resistances, they're pretty decent here. We're nil to both curse and illness, which is really good. He's weak to blind, which, whatever. And he's resistant to silence. And then for resistances on attributes, he's got plus 35, but he's got a -30 to thunder. He's plus 35 to wind, by the way. That's what you need to know there. In terms of his abilities, so he's an earth physical DPS attacker. So not bad at all. Got some damage cap on some of the hits as well, depending on which skill you're using. He also has a healing skill, which is his S2, so that's always good to have too. So he's going to be a little bit of a hybrid. We'll look into that once we see what his kit says. So we'll go with the first trait, which is Zoro, Show Your Might. So at earth attack damage plus 30k. I'm sorry, 30%. Wow. Crit damage plus 50%. Crit damage cap plus 8,000. Boost physical attack damage based on mind. When attacking enemies with the loss debuff, crit rate plus 5%, damage cap 10k. So basically, I didn't explain the loss debuff, but basically the loss debuff is their own unique debuff for this particular collab, and when they have it, these specific characters get some bonuses to damage and whatnot, and then some of their skills also work off of if they have a lost debuff. So it's basically another status, kind of like stun and whatnot. Moving along. Oh, so by the way, yeah, this trait is pretty good too. Just more damage cap. This is a crit character because he has critical damage cap, which I like seeing. I'm a crit guy, so this is awesome. All right, moving on to the second trait, Magician. So HP recovery from unit skills plus 100%. When skill 2 stock is 0, use MP to use that skill. When close to death, give buff that nullifies damage taken equal to 100% of the unit's max HP once per wave. Okay, so you're looking at something that's similar to alchemy. So if this is specifically for the second skill, but not for all of them. So if his second skill there's no stocks, but you want to be able to heal, you can just use MP. Now, for those of you who've been playing long enough, might recognize this as being alchemy from the Full Metal Alchemist collab, where the characters can use all of their skills by just using MP rather than having to have skill stocks. This is the same thing, except for instead of dealing damage, he just heals, which is still okay. It's convenient to be able to heal whatever you need to on demand. I think it's actually very cool, very convenient. And I'm okay with him having this. This isn't super broken to where like it's going to be another Roy situation. No, this is just kind of him showing off his good support potential, and I think that's pretty cool. So yeah, really, really nice. Very convenient. All right, so he's going to have a few more magic spells and then some skills. So we'll start with the magic. He has God Heal, which, most healers will have this. Cure All, High Resurrection, very nice to have. And then Treacherous Intent, which is the same skill that that Joker has. So we won't go over that too much. For his actual skills, we have MP up max, we have Magic up max, we have Arcane up 5, we have Esoteric up. Now, Esoteric is into Mind and MP boost. We also have Crit up 3, which is always good to have Crit 3 for free. We have Advanced Aim Vitals, we have Wisdom's Protection, Auto Protect, Auto Crit, and then a lot of good damage multipliers. Earth Mega Drive, Earth Attack Raise 2, Earth Attack Raise 3, and Earth Critical Rise. And we have Wind Amp, sorry. Earth Attack Damage plus 30%, Earth Damage Cap 5,000. And then we have, which is actually pretty strong, by the way, Sacred Guardian, we have Goddess Kiss, we have Maglion Shield, we have Immovable Object, Thaumaturgy Ring, Beast Repellent. This used to be called something else, but basically there's a less chance of being targeted. Blessed Speed, Bow Mega Boost, which is the first time we've seen this. So Bow Equip, physical attack damage plus 20%, physical attack damage cap 2k, crit rate plus 7%. So again, nice crit boost, nice damage cap, nice damage multipliers. We got Decoy, we got Snap Out of It. So Snap Out of It's unique. When another ally unit gets a basic status element, chance to heal it. Very, very convenient. We have Endure. When taking lethal damage, survive with 1 HP until that attack ends, max once. So that's pretty cool. What I envision seeing happen is someone's like, doing some kind of magic or something, or a skill or whatever, and you don't have any skill slots for the heals, but you can just use your MP to do it. You can kind of tap that skill and just gain your health when you get down to 1 and possibly stay alive. I'm not sure. It depends if you're getting CC'd or not, because if you're getting flinched, then it probably won't work. But either way, pretty cool. It has got some survivability as well. We have Too Late for Regrets. So that when physically attacking bosses, give Treacherous Intent debuff if break gauge is at 10% or less. Oh, it's the same thing. Okay. I see you're already seeing that. And then my turn now, which is the when critically attacking non-boss enemies with Treacherous Intent, debuff, change the debuff to a lost debuff and damage to enemies with lost debuff plus 50%. So there you go. Overall, I like the character. This is basically a crit DPS / support unit. He has the potential to deal a lot of good damage and heal, which is convenient. So I like the character. I think the character is actually pretty cool. And if I randomly end up pulling him, cool. And if not, it's fine. I like the fact that they gave us a free unit. The worst thing to have in a collab is to spend tens of thousands of crystals and pull nothing, like I experienced with the rerun of the slime one. So the fact that we get one guaranteed, it will be good just in case we're just not lucky. So I appreciate the fact that we did get a freebie. But overall, this is a pretty good character too. And one thing that I will say is I like that um, both Morgana and Joker are unique. They're different. The reason I'm bringing this up is because there is one criticism that I don't think I mentioned it during the Attack on Titan collab. With Attack on Titan, all three characters were pretty much the same. There were three sword dual wielding characters with very, very minimal differences, like different elements and maybe one extra little thing that was unique to them. But it felt like really just three of the same units. So there wasn't really much diversity there. Whereas with these two characters, you can tell that they operate differently. So Morgana is a crit based DPS that can heal, and then Joker is a statuser who could also be a DPS. So they're different types of characters, so it's a little more variety. I prefer variety over what we got in that other collab, so I appreciate them doing that here. By the way, sorry for my voice. I'm not feeling good at all today. I barely got through work, but we're making it happen. All right, so let's talk about the LR arc, the first one that we're going to get for this particular update. This is Royale. So let's take a look at this art trait. We have a chance to get an item when unit defeats a boss. So that's pretty cool. One per boss. A chance for skill attacks to deal an extra attack to enemies and break. Very convenient. When an enemy is in break, restore ST for 15 seconds, once per wave. Also pretty strong. Earth and dark attack crit damage cap plus 1,000. So obviously this arc was made specifically for Morgana and Joker. And honestly, the arc is just pretty good by itself. I actually think it's really nice overall. I like everything that I see. So, taking a look at the stuff we can learn here, we got fast speed, which is nice to see. We have surprise attack, which is also good. We have there, which is going to be unique. When hitting an attribute weakness, enemies more likely to faint and break plus 50%. Honestly, that's pretty strong. I actually like that a lot. Now, granted, having breakers has not really been a huge thing nowadays, but I hope that breaking becomes more of a thing that can be used without those HP locks, and this could be better than it could be, because I like the fact that breaking is something that this game has, but it just gets underused, which makes it undervalued. Moving along, we have weak point boost, which is good to have. Reverse cross, which is also interesting. So this is the rear physical attack crit rate plus 5%, and then crit damage 50%. And we have gold rush 2, so after battle you get more money by 35%. So awesome. So overall, I think the skills are pretty cool too. I actually like the fast speed specifically. I think theirs has a lot of potential. So really, really good stuff. And then the actual reward that you get for the item, the Arc Ether reward, is Royal Card Holder. So this is going to be an accessory. Your stats are going to be plus 60 on strength and intelligence. Now the trait says when a party has at least 2 units and all are alive, physical magic attack damage plus 8%. The thing that makes this one decent is the fact that you get a plus 5 resistance to all attributes. So that's honestly, in my opinion, the best thing about this particular item is the plus 5 resistance across the board. I think that's pretty cool. Outside of that, it's pretty decent. It's okay. I wouldn't spend Ethereum on it, but I think it's pretty good overall. As far as Arc in general, I think it's nice to have. So if you end up pulling this Arc, congrats. I think it's actually a pretty good Arc in general. If you're like me and you like crit builds, I mean, this is definitely going to be something good. Like personally, I also like using Leona. So Leona can get some of that, crit damage cap as well. So that'll work for her. So even if I didn't have either one of these two, I would still have other characters that could use this and take advantage of this. So, like I said, it's just really good arc overall. I like what they did here. Let's check out the credentials. So, keep in mind before we go over this that these collab items will not be in the Crimson Moor shop unless they change something. As far as the Crimson Moor, this is only going to be mainly, from my understanding, just the permanent or the characters that are going to be in this game specifically. But collabs, I don't think they're going to be putting any of those weapons on the Crimson shop. So if you want these items, this is going to be more or less your only time to get it until they do another rerun, which will be a while, a long while. So let's go ahead and talk about Joker's first. We have the Rebel Knife. This is going to be a dark attribute sword with strength of 218, int 153, defense plus 23, and mind plus 17. Those are actually good stats, specifically for the strength and int. He has Thaumaturgy Ring, so you're looking at an actual big boost in his overall offense. And then the trait says dark physical attack damage plus 15%, and then dark physical attack damage cap 1500 with a continuous brave effect. So you're getting a lot of damage multipliers here, plus a little bit of damage cap. But yeah, overall, this is actually a really good weapon. It's pretty simple and straightforward. You're just getting lots of stats, lots of damage cap. So it's doing what a weapon should do. It's pretty basic but good. So I like it. Now, as far as the second item, this is going to be Joker's Mask, an accessory. Now we have plus 40 strength on, or strength, intelligence, defense, and mind, with plus 250 HP. So overall decent. You'll also get plus 5 attribute resistance to everything, which is really nice. And the trait says you add bird, creature, insect, fish type to the unit, which basically works with his trait where he gets basically stronger on the number of types he is. So basically he gets like 4 mimicries starting off. Pretty legit. When enemy is in break, SCT recovery speed plus 50% and continuous aura effect. So I like it, but at the same time, I mean, really the best thing about this item, well, there's 2 really good things about it. The adding multiple types and the resistance across the board. As far as the breaking, it's nice. However, again, breakers have not really been a thing in it for a while. So this has the potential to be really, really good. I still think it's a good item in general. So, I mean, I think it's actually really, really good. It's just that I think it would be better if breaking was more of a thing. Now, if you're going to choose one or the other, I would definitely go with the Rebel Knife. I think it's just good all around. It doesn't depend on anything that's iffy, so go with that. Now, let's talk about Slingshot, or Morgana. First item is going to be the Slingshot. This is going to be a bow of Earth attribute, strength 204, int 128, mind 63. Crit damage plus 20%. Nice. Crit damage cap 2,000. When physically attacking, cut enemy defense to 10% and deal damage. The only thing I wish this had that is missing is an extra crit rate. Like, it didn't have to be like 20%, but like crit rate plus 5%. And then crit damage plus 20% and crit damage cap 2k. I think that would be the right way to go here, because the best crit-based characters, people with bows, are typically trying to crit, so you want to up your chances of critting. So I think that the only misstep in this particular item is the fact that they need to add a little bit of extra crit rate. Again, nothing crazy, just 5%. That'd have been perfect, in all honesty. Heck, you could probably even trade the crit damage plus 20% for a crit rate plus 5%. Just to, because it might be a little bit too much, I guess, if you had everything. But yeah, I mean, having a higher crit rate just ups your chances of doing what you need to do. So, but it's still a good item. The second item is going to be the mask. So Morgana's mask is an accessory with a plus 58 strength, plus 41 int, plus 62 mind. So chance for specials to deal crits, continuous metis effect. Metis is basically boost to your mind. Attribute plus 10 to win and resistance to silence. So with the resistance to silence, that'll put him nil to silence, I believe. So that's pretty good. It's okay. I'm not really huge on the specials dealing crits. I mean, with the exception of if you're using something like, I don't know, certain arcs like the Heavenly Starbow, or no, it's the one where you basically, if you're using a bow, you can just crit. You get extra percent attached for every crit you do. So actually, yeah, this could be pretty good for specials in that scenario. But for the most part, I mean, critting on specials has never really been super crazy. So this is just an okay item. So I would say definitely go for the weapon if you're trying to choose one. And remember, this is more than likely not going to be on the Crimson War shop. So if you don't get it now, you won't get it for a very long time. I want to say about a year and a half, maybe 2 years. So, because they usually do a rerun within about 2 or 3 years. But yeah, that's pretty much it here. But overall, I'm really glad to see the collab. We got two interesting characters. We got a decent arc. We get a free unit ticket between Joker and Morgana, which I ended up getting Joker. Very very happy, but I would have been happy either way. So I mean, it's all good no matter what. Just remember, use your tickets first before using crystals, unless you're trying to get one of the paid gear. Then good enough for the paid gear at least for whichever one you pull, and go for there. And then of course next week they're going to release the other two. And my strat for this particular collab is I'm going to actually save my crystals for Violet. I'm going for the waifu this time, and I'm just going to pull on her banner first with my crystals. Well, I'm going to use tickets first, and then I'm going to use my paid crystals and then freebies, and I'll probably end up investing more in her. I'm not familiar with any of these characters, so I'm just picking the waifu. That's why, because I mean, right now I don't have a whole lot of crystals, so I'm like, you know what? To up my chances of getting something, let me just focus on one banner instead of splitting between two. Because I think that was the reason I didn't get anything from the last collab we had. Is that even though I had well over 30K, I split it between the two banners, and when you're splitting your resources in half, your chances of pulling what you want severely lessens. And plus, I'll have more money by the time that next set drops, or by the time Valor drops, I'll be able to drop a little more money, and I'll have around 30K by the time that comes around. So I'll have a higher chance of pulling her. Now, if I end up pulling the other character, then that will kind of suck, but whatever. But yeah, my advice is use your tickets first. Wait for the next set of characters and arcs to come out before you decide which one you want to go for. Whatever you like better, pull on that. But that's going to be it for today. Again, thank you for putting with my voice. I'm not feeling the best, but thank you for sticking around. And until next time, be kind and grind. Later.